So I'm enjoying a slow, I guess it's not a slow morning because I've already been up doing many things, but I'm back in bed. My happy place in the winter here, cozy. Just reading some inspirational cookbooks. So, you know how it goes sometimes where you have several things kind of be highlighted to you in a string of events. So, my mother recently just said to me that she just stopped buying meat. And then, because I've kind of been in the weeds of the sacrificial system and what that means today for believers, I ended up down this, kind of controversy over eating meat, just studying that. Now, I totally don't believe eating only vegetables is moral high ground because the resurrected Christ ate fish. So you won't convince me of that. But with that said, I do believe in proper care of animals and the slaughterhouses, like the way we live in an abundance of meat. Pretty much all the affordable meat is not handled very well. So I ended up on this documentary that I don't really want to promote, so I'm not going to tell you what it's called. But I was taken back again because I've seen these kinds of documentaries before with the conditions, right, that animals sometimes live in. So, and then if I'm going to buy the good meat, which I try to do, it's very hard on the pocketbook, right? Which is my husband's labor. Now, I have a son that's really into bodybuilding these days. And so I had a friend that called me yesterday and they were randomly, he's a young guy that's into bodybuilding, and he was promoting who I knew about because my mother-in-law had kind of gone down this trail before, McDougall, the potato guy, the starch solution. So he had sent me that link yesterday, talked about it and sent me the link. And I had watched a bit of that before, but the idea is that kind of the amount of protein we're told we need is a scam, and that if your body can't process it, it basically flushes it through the kidneys and it's hard on the kidneys, etc. So, yeah, the question of how much meat. And I know I've had always had a bit of an infatuation with the Mediterranean diet, which they eat very little meat and predominantly fish. But so now, because I do feel much better, especially with the situation I'm in medically, I've been noticing gluten really affects my skin. So I really need to stay off of gluten. And so I know the Mediterranean would eat a lot of bread, and a lot of people with on these types of diets would eat, even if they eat quality like sourdough kind of thing. But even there's question about whether in Europe all the gluten products are just altogether different. But in any event, there's always gluten-free versions. So, for economical purposes, and because I do have a position of sort of diet variation is kind of my perception of what the best diet is because I don't think anybody really ate a stagnant diet naturally. So we have access to a global worldwide food market at all times, and that's a very elite, prestigious, modern, whether you want to call that blessing or it can become a demise too, right? So I think when if you hunter-gatherer or agriculturally or whatever, whether you would lay up food for the winter or things were in season and that kind of thing, so you naturally would have more of diet variation. But even just if you can see when somebody goes carnivore, they get all these results, right? Or if somebody goes vegan or they juice fast, they get all these results, right? But if they were to do it long term, that's kind of the real question, is the sustainability in your body, right? So anyway, I'm not saying we're going to necessarily be strict Daniel dieting here, but I'm going to go on a little venture, and I'm going to just make record of it. I guess because I have a playlist, Auntie in the Kitchen, you can probably already see a lot of vegan recipes, because the truth is I always have kind of incorporated a lot of vegetarian eating into our home, but just for this little adventure we're going to go on, I'm going to make my own, like a separate playlist, and just kind of document our results, etc. So that's kind of my idea. And we'll see how that affects everybody, and we'll see how ripped Archie can get, and we'll see if we notice a difference in our grocery bill. And we'll see how I feel and if my gut can handle it. So I'll probably have to do a little bit of like weaning into things, and maybe, more of some things and less of others or whatever. But I am kind of in a good spot right now with my gut, so I think I should be able to have a fair amount of, maybe in the long run this will actually be a solution or something. I'll learn a few things that help me, right? So it's not that I've never even done this before. I have done Daniel fasts for extended periods of time. So, and I have always actually felt good on those. So I think the longest one I ever did was a month on a Daniel fast. I did do I did a green juice fast for 35 days. So we'll see. Green juice I should say, shouldn't really call it green juice, I guess, because I put like pineapple cores and green apples and beets into them, so there was sugar sources. Bears singing. Okay, so intro to an experiment.